Well, Sigma Corporation's been a lens manufacturer for many, many years. Recently they became a camera manufacturer as well, and in fact now they're also a sensor manufacturer since they acquired Foveon. And one of their cameras we've been hearing about for a while is the DP2. It's an advanced rangefinder camera using their Foveon sensor, X3 sensor. And Tom's going to tell us a little bit about the DP2 now and how it differs from the previous DP1. So Tom, take it away again.
Okay, Dave. Well, the DP2, the most obvious difference in appearance will be the larger lens. And what we've done is, in response to requests from many of the consumers who wanted more than just the wide-angle lens, the DP2 now features more of a standard lens. It's a 24.2 millimeter lens, which effectively is equivalent to about a 42 millimeter lens on a full-frame camera. So it gives more of a normal angle of view, which could be used for portraiture as well as candid shots and so on. It's a little faster aperture. It's 2.8, so it gives a little more control over depth of field. And it can be stopped down to f11 without significant diffraction because of the larger sensor. Okay. Inside, what you can't see is a new image processor called the True 2 image sensor, and this will provide faster write speeds and faster processing of the image files and allow for even better picture quality than on the DP1. On the back, there's been some revisions to the controls in the camera and allows for faster use of the camera by the photographer, including a quick set button, which gives ready access to a number of functions, including ISO, white balance, framing rate, file size, file type, and flash function and metering mode, and numerous functions just by pressing the quick set button once or twice. The people have 2 levels of functional control, and then with the 4-way controller on the back of the camera, they can make adjustments to the different functions as they see fit, and then lock them in. Also on the top, to simplify the main menu, they put a sub-menu on the top of the camera in the setup mode, and this gives you access to about 14 functions which are not frequently changed. Things like the clock setting, the calendar, color space, color type, and so on.
Well, that's great. So the DP1 had this very long menu system in the menu in the back on the back of the camera, and now they've moved 14 of those functions onto this setup, so you really cut down in the scrolling to get to the functions.
That's correct. And then the remaining function is accessible through the main menu button. That gives you about 21 additional functions that can be set, and those are the things that may be changed a little more frequently. There are numerous options that were previously unavailable on the DP1. When you're using the manual focus, for example, the distance scale, you can now change the increments to either metric or distance, English, feet. When you use the grid mode, which displays the vertical and horizontal lines for framing purposes and architectural work, you have the option of either having 4, 9, or 16 boxes in the grids, and they can either be solid lines or dotted lines. There's also variations to the color. You can have your different color modes, standard or vivid, what they call neutral, portrait, scenic, sepia, and black and white. So you have a number of different options that weren't previously available on the DP2. Which were not previously available on the DP1. What has been retained are the full automatic functions of the camera with the simple, 4 basic exposure settings, program setting, aperture priority, shutter priority, and full manual. And in the case of the focusing, you also have the choice of autofocus or manual focus. Okay, and with a simple thumb wheel control on the top of the camera, and the visible display on the viewfinder, or with the distance scale for scale focusing. Okay? And of course, most important of all is that the DP2 still retains the Foveon 14 megapixel direct image sensor. And by way of illustration, I just wanted to show you what sets the DP cameras apart from any of the other compact digital cameras, and that is the size of the image sensor. If you can see here on the right, the small image sensor, this is what would be typically found on an average compact camera. The sensor on the left is the larger Foveon image sensor, which is more comparable in size to that found in a digital SLR camera. In fact, it is the same sensor that we've used in the Sigma SD14 and SD15 digital SLR cameras. Having the larger sensor is a big advantage because it allows for each individual pixel to be larger. Larger pictures are more sensitive, they can capture more light and produce more of a signal and less noise or grain in the pictures. So it allows for SLR quality images from a compact camera which can be slipped into your pocket.
And time frame, when do you think this is going to make it out to the market now?
I'm hoping to start deliveries, or the factory's hoping to start deliveries to us by the end of March, and if they can keep to that schedule, I should be able to be shipping to the dealers by early April.
And so the price point, it's the same as the DP1 or a little bit higher? Or?
Yeah, at this point, I don't have a firm price from the factory, but I anticipate the DP2 will be somewhat higher than the DP1, although hopefully not too significantly so.
And so there's a difference between the two cameras in the focal length. Will the DP1 remain as an option for people that want wider focal?
Yes, both cameras will remain in production, so the customers will have a choice of either getting the wide angle or the normal type lens, or hopefully both.
Yeah, right, by two. Well, that's great. Well, stay tuned for the DP2 coming to a store near you, and hopefully to our lab very soon also.